A very good morning, students. Now, usually during the Viva, the teacher may ask you to pick up any of these bones. Suppose if you have picked this bone, okay, which is vertebra, he may ask you, what is the name of this vertebra? Because sometime I have observed myself that many of the students are not able to identify even a vertebra. Okay, so to begin with and to check the knowledge of the student, how far he has studied, they may ask you a question, name this bone, okay, and you will surprise why he is asking me the name. Okay, so you will have to reply that, sir, this bone is the vertebra, okay, it is a vertebra. Then he will ask you, hold the bone, this bone in anatomical position, because most of the viva on the bone begins with after identification to keep it in the anatomical position. So he will ask you to hold the bone in anatomical position, and then with the help of your any of these hands, since it is a midline structure, single bone, you can hold the bone in anatomical position like this in such a way that here the body is facing anteriorly. Okay, that should be the anatomical position, means the bone should be kept as it is in your body. Okay, so if I am holding it in anatomical position, this is the anterior aspect of my body, then this is the posterior aspect. The vertebral foramina is here, which should be seen as upward. Okay, that means in vertical direction the foramina should direct like that. Okay, so this is the body, then this should be kept anteriorly. Okay, anteriorly. You can hold it with the help of the transverse process, or you can hold it with the help of the spine, whichsoever is convenient to you. Okay, now then he may ask you, what are the parts of a vertebra? Okay, very general question. You can say, sir, there are two parts of a vertebra. Anteriorly placed is this cylindrical structure, and this is called as the body. Okay, and posteriorly placed are the vertebral arch or the neural arch, which consists of two parts, a pedicle which are arising from the posterolateral aspect of the body and going backward, and then there is a vertical plate here onto the posterior aspect, and the right and left, these are the laminae. Okay, and laminae, they fuse in the midline to form a bony process or projection. This is called as spine. So there are two parts of the vertebral arch or neural arch, the right and left pedicle and right and left laminae. Okay, so this will be. Then he may ask you, what are the processes which are taking origin from this vertebral arch? You can say that there are 7 processes which are taking origin from this vertebral arch. These are the two transverse process. Okay, since they are learning transversely and they are coming out at the junction of the pedicle and that of the lamina, and then they are going laterally. So these are the transverse process. Okay, then there are 4 articular process which articulates with the adjacent bone. These are the 2 superior articular process which also are a projection at the junction of the pedicle and the lamina. So 2 superior articular process, right and left, and then you turn the bone and show him the 2 inferior articular process which are also coming from the junction of the pedicle and that of the lamina, and then they are at the lower end of the lamina. So these are inferior articular process which bears the articular surfaces on them, and these articular surfaces on articular process are called as the articular facet. That you should reply. Okay, in this way you should reply. Then this makes the 6. Okay, 4 articular process and 2 transverse process. So these are the 6 process coming out from at the junction of the pedicle and lamina, that is from neural arch, and the last process which I have told you is from the junction of the right and left lamina, and this is the bony process in midline, and this is called as the spinous process. Now then he can ask you about the surfaces of body. You can say that there is an anterior surface, there is a posterior surface, right lateral and the left lateral surface, then there is a superior surface, and then there is an inferior surface of the body. So there are many, 6 surfaces of the body. Then he said that he may say that what is difference between the other surface as compared to the upper and lower surface. You can say that the upper and lower surface of the body, they are not covered by the compact bone, as the other surface are covered by the thin layer of compact bone. Why? He may ask you, why this upper and lower surface are not covered? Then you can say, sir, these surfaces are covered by hyaline cartilages, okay, for the attachment of the interarticular disc, okay, intervertebral disc, okay, not interarticular, intervertebral disc between the bodies, okay, between the bodies. Then he will tell you about showing the pedicle. The pedicle, you can say this is a thoracic vertebra, and here pedicle are thin and they are having less thickness as compared. The more is that of the its direction. It is more directed in supro-inferior direction as compared to the transverse direction. And in thoracic vertebra, pedicle are weak. They are weak. Okay. Then he will tell you about. Okay. Now, where is the superior and inferior vertebral notch? If suppose he asks that, you can show that this structure, okay, this structure is the inferior vertebral notch, bounded anteriorly by the body, then superiorly by the pedicle, and posteriorly by that of the lamina and the inferior articular process, okay. And in relation to the other thoracic vertebrae, when you will articulate this inferior vertebral notch along with this superior vertebral notch, this is the superior vertebral notch here, okay, this will form the intervertebral foramina, okay, intervertebral foramina. And you can then, if there is another thoracic vertebrae, just articulate both the one upon other, two articular, and show this intervertebral foramina and its boundary, okay, and its boundaries you can show that. Now the boundaries of the after this intervertebral foramina, let us come to the vertebral foraminas. He can ask you the boundaries of this vertebral foramina, which will give passage to the spinal cord and meninges. Anteriorly, so you say that anteriorly it is bounded by the posterior surface of body. On the sides it is bounded by right and left pedicles, and posteriorly it is bounded by the fusion of the right and left lamina. Okay, it is bounded by the lamina. Okay, now this articulation between the two vertebral bra, okay, between the two vertebra. What are the articulations between the neighboring vertebrae? Suppose there are two vertebrae, what are the joints between the two adjacent vertebrae? You say one is the intervertebral joint, that is interbody joint, between the bodies of the two vertebra, which is formed by the intervertebral disc, and it is a symphysial joint. Then there are the two superior joints which are formed between the inferior articular facet of the upper vertebra with that of the superior articular facet of the lower vertebra. So these are the interarticular joint, okay, or articular facet joint, or simply the facet joints are there, two which are synovial in variety. Thus there are three joints between two adjacent vertebra, interbody, and between the superior and inferior articular facets, okay, inferior articulars. Thank you very much for watching the Viva on any vertebra. I have just not confined to thoracic, lumbar or cervical, but as a general, what can be Viva on a vertebra. Thank you very much.